What's up, everybody? My name is David Warren. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about nurse practitioner salary and how much I make at my full-time job. I have my two most recent pay stubs here, and we're going to walk through what full-time nurse practitioner pay looks like. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I've been a travel nurse practitioner for a few years. And starting in July of 2020, I took a full-time job in the DFW metroplex. And I took a job in the emergency department. So I work as an emergency nurse practitioner and I work in emergency medicine. And I want to walk you through today what my full-time job pay looks like. If you've seen my other videos, you know that as a travel nurse practitioner, you make really good money and it's very enticing and it's something that people want to do. As a full-time nurse practitioner, I really want to be transparent with you and show you what it's like and what we're actually making in the emergency department full-time. Let's talk about it. All right, let's talk about it. So I work at a local hospital in DFW, and I work for a third-party physician group. And so if you think about that, it's like a group that staffs the emergency department. So I don't actually work for a hospital company. I work for a third-party physician group that staffs the emergency department. So my paycheck does not come from a hospital. My paycheck comes from the physician group that staffs the hospital. And that's something that whenever you work as a nurse practitioner, you will find out. So some places you might get paid by the clinic or by the hospital. And in some places you may get paid by like a third-party physician group. So that's something to know whenever you go into medicine, is who is actually going to be paying you. Side note, as a full-time nurse practitioner, you get benefits. At least in my job, I get benefits. Hopefully, if you're in a full-time position, you get benefits as well. So you get access to good health insurance, you get like long-term, short-term disability, you get a 401k, things like that, that as a travel nurse practitioner, I didn't get access to. When I got my health insurance through, as I was traveling, I had to get that through the marketplace. I didn't have access to like an employer who would give me access to a health insurance policy. So I had to like pay out of pocket for that as a travel nurse practitioner. So that's a plus to being fully employed, as you get access to benefits. And that's something that you need to consider if you want to be full-time or if you want to travel. Think about the benefit aspect of it. Thankfully, I'm young and healthy. I don't have any medical problems. So having, going through the marketplace to get more expensive insurance, it's not good coverage, was okay because ultimately I didn't use it. But as an employed person now, I have really good insurance and I only pay $122 a month for it. And it's like a Blue Cross PPO, which is excellent. So that's something to think about whenever you get your job. Think about the benefits, especially if you're like older. I turned 30 in March, so I'm like pushing the upper limits now. So I have to like get good insurance. All right, let's talk about pay now. So at this particular job, all of the APPs, so advanced practice providers, NPs, PAs, we're all paid, our pay structure is all the same, meaning that we're all paid basically the same way. You're not paid based on your experience or how long you've been there. And that's something that you're going to find from facility to facility. Some places you are going to make pay based on your experience, the years you've been a nurse practitioner. Some places you're not. It's going to be standard across the board. So again, something to look into. At the place where I work, everybody is paid on the same pay structure. That will vary. We'll get into that here shortly. But on the same pay structure, no matter your experience, whatever it is, we're all paid on the same structure. So at this facility, we work 10-hour shifts. So there are a variety of 10-hour shifts that we work. To be full-time, we have to work a minimum of 120 hours per month. So that's 12 10-hour shifts per month is considered full-time. Prior to COVID, we could pick up like extra shifts. And so I would work like 15 or 16 shifts. However, during COVID, some of the shifts have been cut and we're only allowed to work 12 shifts. And so that kind of puts a hamper on some of like the pay that you get because you're not or at least I'm not working as much in my career. I tend to work 15 to 16 shifts per month. Cutting it back to 12 and 10-hour shifts on top of that, you're just not paid quite as much as you would in another facility that does 12-hour shifts that will let you work more, if that makes sense. So 12 10-hour shifts is what we're required to work to keep our benefits and to stay full-time. And for that, we are paid a base rate of $50 per hour. So for a base rate, meaning that no matter how many ever hours you work, you're paid $50 an hour. We are also paid $5 an hour for what's called a Qsp bonus. I don't know what Qsp stands for, but it is a bonus, meaning that whenever we meet certain criteria or we check certain boxes, then we're paid $5 for every hour that we've worked. So some of the criteria that we have, you have to like sign your charts within like 72 hours. You have to attend a monthly staff meeting. There are certain metrics in the department that we have to meet for us to get this like $5 an hour bonus. And then on top of that, we get $3 for every RVU. RVU is like super complicated. I don't even know a great way to explain it, but I'm going to give it a shot. So RVU is called relative value unit, an RVU. And so basically an RVU is a like number money-wise on what you do for the patient. So if you think about billing and coding, there's like a level 1 chart, a 2 chart, 3, 4, and 5. So a level 1 chart is the least complex. Like somebody comes in for a rash, you don't do anything for them, you send them home. That's like a level 1 chart. A level 5 chart is like a STEMI that comes in and you put like a central line in them, or you put an A line in them, and you give them like TPA if you're out in the middle of rural America, or you send them to the cath lab, or they go to the ICU, or you have an aortic dissection and the patient goes to surgery, things like that. So the more complex the patient, the higher level you're going to bill. And that would be like a level 5 chart. And so the RVUs are assigned to each chart. So I don't know, this is not factual, but I'm just giving you like a representation. So let's say for like a level 1 chart, you get 2 RVUs. In a level 5 chart, you get like 10 RVUs. And so you would take the total number of RVUs that you generate in the entire month, and you would multiply that by 3, and then that would be additional pay that we get on top of our $50 an hour base pay, plus the $5 an hour QSP, and then the $3 an hour, or sorry, $3 per RVU for all the RVUs that we like make that month, or that we generate that month. I hope that makes sense. As far as the RVUs, again, levels of charts will determine the RVUs. Procedures will determine RVUs, so like an intubation, a central line, a splint, a reduction of a joint, things like that all generate RVUs, and that is, again, how we are paid. So like I said earlier, we're all paid on the same pay structure. Everybody gets $50 an hour, $5 an hour for a QSP bonus, and then $3 per RVU. However, our pay will differ based on how many patients you see. So if you're seeing like 2 to 3 patients an hour and they're all sick, you're going to generate more RVUs, therefore you're going to generate more income. So that's kind of the structure on how we are paid in my full-time job in the emergency department. Now let's talk about the pay stubs. So let me get the first one here. So this one here is, I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully I can like blur out my information. Don't come like stalk me. For the first month, we're going to talk about the pay. This first paycheck that we get 2 paychecks at this place, like one on the 1st, one on the 15th. And the first paycheck that we get is for all of our hours worked that month. So it's the $50 an hour that we get. And so for this first paycheck, I got $6,800 on the 1st. And that $6,800, let's pull my calculator out here so we can do a little math. So 6,800 divided by 50 is 136. So that means I worked 136 hours. So divided by 10 is 13.6. So give you a little backstory here. So 13.6 obviously is not like a whole round number. So whenever we go into the emergency department, let's say we stay like 30 minutes late or an hour late, we can adjust those times. So that's how we get kind of an odd number there, if that makes sense. So our first paycheck, first of the month, is the $50 per hour. So $6,800 was my first paycheck. So you can see it there, $6,800. And that's what we get. The first of every month is the prior month's $50 an hour. And then our second paycheck comes on the 15th. That's the RVU and the Qsp bonus. So again, $5 for every hour that we worked if we meet the metrics on that Qsp. And the metrics change quarter to quarter. And then for all of our RVUs, we get the money that we generate, $3 per RVU. And so on my 15th paycheck, I got $2,934.61. So let's see it there, $2,934.61. So all of that together, $6,800 plus $2,934, roughly $9,700, $9,734 is what it came out to. So that's what I made in 1 month, $9,734. That is a very far cry to what I made as a travel nurse practitioner. If you've seen my other videos, you know that travel nurse practitioners make upwards of like $20,000 per month. This is like a measly, not a measly, I'm just kidding. It's good money, $9,700. So going back to kind of the pay structure here, whenever you are employed, you're usually what's classified as a W-2, meaning that you are an employee. And so your taxes are taken out. So on this, my taxes are taken out. So my federal income tax, employee Medicare, and Social Security are all the tax things that are taken out. And I had, on my first paycheck, I had $1,100 in federal income tax taken out. I had $85 in Medicare tax taken out, and I had $364 in Social Security tax taken out. So I don't even like looking at that. It's like $1,600, $1,700 that are taken out in taxes. On the next check, the one we just talked about, the RVU, $2,934, I had $435 in federal income tax taken out, $42 in employee Medicare tax taken out, and $181 in Social Security tax taken out. So tax, tax, tax. This is all we do here in the United States is get taxed. Going back to being a travel nurse practitioner, most of those positions are 1099, meaning that you are paid a lump sum. Taxes are not taken out, and you are paid the full amount, and you have to pay those taxes yourself. And so that can be a little challenging whenever you start traveling. I'm not going to get into like taxation and all that stuff in this video because it's not what it's about. It's about my full-time salary. So as you see, $9,700 is about what I make in a month at my full-time job. And again, that depends on how many patients you're seeing, how many RVUs you're generating, et cetera, et cetera. That's how we're paid at a full-time job. So roughly $9,700. So let's do the math here. $9,700 per month times 12 is about $116,400. Now, a very far cry from what historically we would make in the emergency department. I will say this $2,900 RVU and Qsp bonus check is quite low since COVID times because our volume overall has been down. We're not seeing as many patients, and so our checks are just a little bit less. Combined with the fact that we are only working 12 shifts per month when we normally work 15 or 16. So that's what it looks like, $9,700 as an ER nurse practitioner in DFW. I hope this video was helpful to you. I'm not like doing this video to brag. You've seen some of my other videos. I've made more money in the past, but I really want to be transparent with you, and I want to show you like what I make as an ER nurse practitioner and what you can make as well. So if you have questions or comments, let me know. If you are not scared and you're not afraid to share your personal information, if you're a nurse practitioner, comment below. I'd love to hear like what you make in a month to kind of see how salaries differ over the throughout the United States. Thank you for watching, and give this video a like or a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.